What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me for another one. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about how to invest $1,000, how to invest your first $1,000. And I get this question a lot, all the time, and I figured it deserved to be revisited. So how do you invest $1,000, right? Typically, this is probably, you're just now getting started, you're trying to build wealth, you're aiming for financial freedom. So how do you get going, right? So I think that the first thing is, definitely understanding and being aware of your current financial situation, right? And most people have no clue about their own personal situation, and this is very valuable. Like, don't underestimate the value of understanding your current financial situation, right? You need to also identify patterns and habits that are shaping your financial life. So first and foremost, being aware of your financial situation is, at a minimum, understanding exactly how much money you earn. Now, if you're a salary worker, then you know exactly how much you earn because it's salary, right? But if you get bonuses, then maybe you don't know exactly how much you earn per year, and it could vary drastically. Like, I know a lot of people who are getting they have a salary job and they might get anywhere between a 5 and a 20% bonus. Well, that's a huge spread on how much money they could earn or maybe not earn that year. Also, if you're an hourly worker, maybe you're primarily on commissions, understanding how much you make is very, very important. So what I would do is I would just look at like the last, 6 months, and just kind of take an average of how much you've earned per month over the last 6 months, and that should give you a good baseline. So understand where your starting point is. Also, figuring out how much expenses you have, right? What is your monthly income, or what does your monthly expenses look like? Car payments, rent, mortgage payment, cell phone bill, insurance, gas, food, things like that, right? And so I would also identify the patterns and the habits that are shaping my financial life. And so understanding these patterns that happen, like a lot of people say, I had a very unexpected expense, my car broke down, I didn't think it was going to happen. A lot of these unexpected expenses are actually very, very predictable when you look at them, when you zoom out and you look at them from a higher altitude. In other words, there are certain vehicles need maintenance, and a lot of times people just kind of like neglect maintenance until it becomes a repair. And if had a bug over here, a fly. So if you have a repair that needs urgent attention, that could actually shut you down and leave you stranded. So if you just kind of like plan these maintenance events, then they won't surprise you as frequently. And then also creating a very solid plan to address the specific challenges that you might be having. So like I gave the example of with the whole car situation and repairs. If you schedule the maintenances, then you're kind of addressing these problems and you're addressing the patterns that keep surfacing for you. Now, one of the first things that I would be doing with my $1,000 is I would plunk that $1,000 maybe into a maintenance account, or a vehicle maintenance account. That way, if a unexpected repair came up, I don't put myself further into credit card debt and end up paying high interest on it, right? That's where a lot of people end up getting stuck, right? Most Americans have some degree of credit card debt, and it's debilitating. I've been there, trust me. So another thing I'll be looking to invest my $1,000 toward is new skills, right? And skills are underrated, okay, guys? Skills are highly underrated. You want to make some money, you want to invest your money, invest in yourself first, right? So investing in personal development, education, you can never ever go wrong in that, right? You can allocate resources to acquire new skills and knowledge. There's tons of books, online courses, cheap stuff. You don't have to go to college to get an education. And I wish I learned that earlier in life. I would be so much farther ahead, to be honest with you. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with college, but it's really not required for everyone. Like, it really depends on what you want to do with your life. It depends on, it depends on a number of different factors, but would you believe I got stung by a bee on camera? okay. And he stung me through my shirt. That was wild. That was wild. All right. So anyway, where was I? Investing in yourself. Don't have to go to college, but of course, college is cool if that's what you want to do. But again, it comes back to understanding yourself. Like, where are you in life and where are you trying to go, right? So, anyway, so learning high value skills can really increase how much money you can make. Investing in training courses, books, different learning materials. Like, maybe I should do a book review over some of the most profitable books or the most helpful books that I've read in my life that have really just kind of helped me to increase my income, help me to improve my ability to invest money and to build assets and to acquire assets. One of the books that comes to mind is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Another one comes to mind is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Another really good book is Atomic Habits. Like, I'm gonna just leave you guys with those 3. Those are some game changer books, right? And every one of those books can be purchased for less than $20. And I mean, heck, when I was like super broke, and I would still do it now, is I would buy used books. Like, I would go to Amazon, I would just buy the used books. I didn't need a brand new book. I just needed the information in there. But now, for the most part, I'll normally go through a book on Audible, so I won't even really purchase the book. I just kind of listen to it because I don't have as much available time to allocate to that as I used to. But again, books, training courses, learning materials, all great investments, less than $1,000. All right. And there's no excuses, guys. Now, increasing your earning potential and career opportunities will come when you increase your skill sets. And there are some skills in life that are just worth more than others. So I would definitely be focusing on increasing the amount of high value skills that I have. And I want to make sure that I'm aligning my investments with my personal values and my personal goals, right? Like, how much money do you really need? You start investing with $1,000, but what do you need that $1,000 to grow into? Do you need $100,000? Do you want it to grow into $500,000? Do you need it to grow into $2 million? Like, why do you need? How much money do you need? You need to figure that out. That's going to be crucial. That's going to be very, very crucial, right? If you're trying to achieve financial freedom, depending upon where you live and your anticipated lifestyle expenses, you might only need $500,000. But then again, depending upon your lifestyle expenses, you might need more, closer to $3 million. But whatever the goal is, you need to set a goal so you can hit it. So this is going to come down to literally planning what you want your lifestyle to be like and what it's going to cost to be able to maintain that. Obviously, to retire early, to reach financial freedom as quickly as possible, if you have your expenses as low as possible while actually being happy at the same time, you're going to be able to reach your financial freedom goals much faster. So, and then you also want to avoid investment choices that are based solely on trends and what your peers and what your friends might think is the best investments. Because sometimes our friends, as much as they mean well, maybe they're not the best sources for advice. I had a buddy, he was telling me to invest in Devore coin back in the day. This was like a cryptocurrency. And man, I put like $500 in that thing. I lost every dollar I put in there, right? And I was very skeptical of it to begin with. And cryptocurrency was like brand new. This was around the time when like BitConnect was around, and everyone and their mom was like on this cryptocurrency craze. And I felt like the biggest, I won't say I felt like the biggest idiot, but just the simple fact that it seemed like everyone and their mom was investing in this stuff. I was like, I got to put something in here. So, $500, not that big of a deal to me. So I put $500 in there. Lo and behold, ended up losing everything. So part of investing is taking on risk, but you can mitigate risk and you can mitigate losses by educating yourself more. So the more educated you are, the greater the likelihood is that you'll grow your money faster with less probability of losing your money. So the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is basically making investment decisions that reflect your personal values and your desired outcomes, right? So, if you want to invest, if you want to have $500,000 in the next 5 years, you're going to have to invest a little bit more than $100 a month to achieve that goal. So make sure your goals are in alignment with your objectives, right? And make sure that they line up. And when they do, you'll have a much greater chance of achieving your goals. For me, I've learned that experiences are so much more valuable than things. Now, I'm a big car enthusiast. You guys know that. And I'm a big watch enthusiast, timepiece enthusiast. Though I really don't. You never really see me wearing a watch. I don't have any watches. But one day I will treat myself and get a nice watch. But what I have found personally, and I can really appreciate a nice watch. I study these things anyway. Experiences, though, those are even more valuable to me than any of these other material things. Time with my family, taking trips, just enjoying certain life pleasures with people that I care about, my friends, my family, right? And so these are a form of investments. And I swear, every time I've taken a trip, I have always learned something during that trip that has inevitably made me more money. So, prioritizing experiences over material possessions is another thing that I would definitely be thinking about, right? Because one thing that I've noticed is that when you buy material possessions, you're making someone else wealthy. The goal here is to make yourself wealthy first. And then once you are wealthy and you're generating dividends and passive income, you could take some of that passive income and dividend income to then purchase some of the material possessions that you might want. But most people do it kind of like backwards, where they want the material possessions, they don't have passive income, they don't have dividends coming in paying them on a regular basis, they don't have some drop shipping or e-commerce store that's an online business that works around the clock without them having to trade their time for money. But yet they'll go out and prioritize buying material items such as cars with large car payments and expensive luxuries that basically make you a slave to the item. And for me, I did that. I had multiple car payments in the past, and I felt like I was really happy when I first bought the cars. But then as the months went on, I began feeling like the newness wore off, but now I'm stuck with this car payment. And it felt like financial slavery. With that experience, and I had that experience so many different times, because I had so many different cars, being a car enthusiast, and having so many different car payments. I said to myself, I'm not going to do this anymore. If I can't pay cash for this car, I really don't want it. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm not saying you should always pay cash for cars. Like, if you can get super low interest rates on a car and you can afford it, okay, maybe you finance it, because maybe you take that money and you reinvest it somewhere else that gives you a higher rate of return. Like, if you can get like a 2% interest or less on your car, and you know that you can invest in something else that'll pay you 8%, 9%, 10% higher rate of return, or return on your investment, then that would probably be a better use of your money, even if you have the cash. Now, of course, none of this is considered financial advice. I'm just sharing with you guys some of my personal experiences. But yeah, and also, understanding that the temporary happiness is just like a short-term boost that you get from material items. And for me, I only want to buy material items when, if it's a non-necessity, like it's just a want. I will buy material items when it's like a no-brainer. Meaning, like, if you went to McDonald's and you bought a Happy Meal, it doesn't impact you financially, right? That's how I like to look at material item purchases. If it's such a small percentage of my finances that it's no big deal, okay, cool. Now I'm in a position where this item doesn't own me. And that's really important when you're building wealth. So Would I take my $1,000 and buy a pair of sneakers with that? Absolutely not. Would I take my $1,000 and invest in my education? Oh, absolutely, all day long. As long as that skill or education that I'm gaining from investing that $1,000 is proven to be worth multiples more than the $1,000 invested, then to me it's a no-brainer. Like I've actually taken courses for $1,000 that has increased my income by $15,000 a year. So that is a 1,500% return on my investment. And every year thereafter, I made that much more. So every year thereafter, I was making $15,000 more than I had prior to investing in myself by taking these courses. So think about it. In year one, I made $15,000. I turned $1,000 into $15,000, right? Year two, I'm still earning that same amount of money, plus I got a raise, right? So let's just say year two, I got a, $2,000 raise. So year one, I made $15,000. Year two, I made $17,000 more dollars than I had than I had earned in year zero. So I've already increased my $1,000 and turned it into $32,000. Let's just say year three, I'm now got another raise. Let's just say it's another $2,000, right? And so now year three, I'm now at plus $18,000. And where are we at? 32, 40. So now we're up $50,000. So I've turned $1. What's up, man? I've turned $1,000 into $50,000 in a matter of 3 years. And this is not a fluke. I've literally coached so many people into doing things like this, like literally taking small amounts of money, starting right where you are, and just creating this taking this seed and growing into the lifestyle that you want. Because all of this is possible, guys. All of this is possible. If I can do it, if all of the people that I've helped can do it, you can do it too. So I just want to provide you guys with a little bit of information, a little bit of inspiration, how to invest $1,000. And there's so many different other creative ways that you could use $1,000 to really grow your net worth and to increase your income and to generate passive income for you in the future. Creating social connections and bonds through different experiences. These are game changers, guys. These are absolute game changers. So I just wanted to share this with you guys. I'm not going to make this video super long. There's a lot more that I want to share with you guys on how you can invest $1,000, because we are just touching the surface. But if you guys found value in this video, definitely drop a like for the video. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me on this beautiful day. And also subscribe to the channel and share this video with somebody who needs to hear it. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna catch you on the next one.